Today, I bought a property using a credit card. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you exactly how I was able to do it so that you can get out there and start doing the same thing, especially if you're low on cash. What's up, everybody? It's Jamel Gibbs. Welcome to another video. Listen, today I bought a property for right around $8,000. I actually funded it using a credit card. Now, you might be asking, how in the world did you fund a deal using a credit card? How is this even possible? Well, to be honest with you, using credit cards is just like using cash. The only difference is coming from somebody else. Again, real estate, one of the acronyms that we use is OPM. And what that stands for is other people's money. Just like with other people's money, you can use other people's credit as well. But that's beside what I want to talk about today. What I truly want to get into is how you can get started with using credit cards to fund deals if you don't have access to a lot of capital. If you have very little credit right now, I'm going to show you some ways. I'm going to share with you some points on how you can build that credit up to be able to fund those deals. Then I'm going to share with you two different ways that you can fund real estate using credit cards, especially, again, if you don't have a lot of money right now, which, a lot of people, especially during this day and age, a lot of people just don't have access to a lot of cash. So this is going to be the jump start that you need in order to get started. So let's jump into these 5 steps. The first thing you want to do when it comes to funding deals using credit cards is to build up credit, right? You got to build your own personal credit. This is kind of an obvious thing. There's 2 simple ways in order to be able to do this. The first one is by piggybacking off of somebody else's credit. Really, this will give you an instant impact on your credit score. So let's just say you had a 580 credit score right now. Your credit sucked, right? And you need a higher score instantly. If you know somebody who has a decent credit score, like somewhere right around 7 or 725 or 750, if they just added you to their credit cards that they have that they're paying on time with, you're instantly going to get an impact on your credit score. Easily going to boost it up 50 points, maybe 25 to 50 points, somewhere in that range. It could even be higher than that. It depends on your personal credit situation. But at the end of the day, you're going to have some type of impact positively on your credit score if they're paying their bills on time. And the more they pay their bills, the higher your credit score goes. So how can you find someone that you can piggyback off of? One recommendation is to spend a little bit of money. Offer something in exchange for them adding you to the card, right? So how do you do that? Really simple. If you know a family member or a friend who has great credit and you offer to pay the minimum balance for them every single month in exchange for them adding you to their credit card, that will have the impact that you need. That will provide you with the score that you need over time in order to be able to fund deals and build credit for your personal situation, right? So again, keep it really simple. Don't overcomplicate this. If you ask enough people who might have decent credit and you offer to pay their bill, their credit card bills, in exchange for them adding you to their credit, somebody's gonna say yes, right? As long as you pay that bill on time, their credit is gonna continue to get better and your credit is gonna continue to get better as well. And before you know it, within a 90-day time frame, you might be able to qualify for your own credit cards at that point. But do not remove yourself from their lines of credit. Keep yourself on those bills. Another way to do it is to simply start cleaning up the old stuff that's on your credit. If you have derogatory stuff, if you have collections and things like that, talk to a credit repair company and start cleaning up your credit to start building your credit and start boosting that score. Now, the second step in the process is to get secured as well as unsecured credit lines. Now, the reason why you want to use secured credit cards is simply because these secured credit card companies, as you continue to use their card and make payments over time, they will continue to report to the credit bureaus and help boost up your credit score. And the way secured credit cards work is simple. You simply provide money in exchange for a credit card with the exact amount that you've provided to the company on that card. So let's just say, for example, I was to go out and put $500 on a prepaid credit card. Not a prepaid debit, a prepaid credit card. What that credit card company is now gonna do is provide me with a credit card matching the amount that I provided them up front. And they provide it to me or to you in the form of credit. And as you use that credit and you pay that credit back, they're reporting that to the credit bureau. So let's just say I gave them $500. They gave me $500 back on the card and I used $100 of it and I paid that $100 off, in $10 increments over 10 months. They're reporting that I'm paying on time each and every single month, allowing my score to build up. And eventually you start going for unsecured lines. Some of the easier banks that I found to be able to get unsecured lines from is Synchrony Bank, CitiCard. Once your score boosts up, you go to American Express, even places like Navy Federal will provide you with a decent amount on a credit card to be able to help boost up your scores. Now, the third thing you want to do is start asking for credit line increases. So once you start building your credit and you start getting these credit card offers in and you're making your payments on time and things like that, the next thing you want to do is start asking for credit increases. Now, there's a couple of different things, a couple of different benefits to asking for credit line increases. Number one, eventually you'll have enough money to purchase real estate using that credit card, right? But number two, what's going to happen is this is going to help you increase your scores because your credit usage is not going to be the same anymore. So let's just say you have a bad score simply because you're maxing out your credit cards. If you can get a credit line increase, your credit usage is basically going to be less than what it was before you got the credit line increase, ultimately allowing you to get a score increase because of it. So not only are you benefiting by having access to more capital, but you're also benefiting by allowing yourself to be able to get a score increase simply because you've asked for a credit line increase. Now, here's a small trick when it comes to asking for credit line increases and maxing out the amount that you can potentially get. When you contact the credit card company in order to get a credit line increase and that particular bank asks you how much do you need, your very next response should be, how much can you give me? Remember, this is just like negotiating with buyers and sellers in real estate, right? The person who provides the number first is the one who loses the negotiation. So what we typically like to do is respond with, how much can you give me? And they may reply with, well, you have to give me a number. And your simple reply to that is going to be, let's see what the max amount is that I can possibly get, right? So the whole point is you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot and provide them with a lower amount than you can potentially get on the other end. So for example, let's just say you have a credit card with $5,000 on it and you go for a credit line increase and the bank says, how much do you need? And you tell them $7,500. They may have been willing to give you $15,000, but you told them $7,500 and now you just shot yourself in the foot for another $7,500 that you could have had access to. Okay, so be mindful of that. Treat this like negotiating with buyers and sellers in a real estate deal. When you contact the credit card company to get a credit line increase, they're going to verify your income and things like that. But when they start asking you how much do you want access to, simply reply with, how much can you get? Try your best not to provide them with a number. If you have to, then you have to. But try your best not to let them put out the first number and then you take it from there. So we got step number one is to build the credit. Step number two is to get the credit cards. Step number three is to start getting credit line increases, which leads us into the real estate portion of this video. Now, step number 4 of 5 is a simple way to purchase real estate, right? So let's just say, for example, you have a $50,000 property that you need 20% down on in order to be able to fund the deal, but you want to create a no money down situation. If you can get $15,000 to $20,000 in credit line increases, that can fund the down payment that you need, creating a no money down situation for you. So as you get access to more and more capital through credit lines, you can use those credit lines as down payments to be able to fund investment properties for you. Now, obviously you want to work the numbers to make sure that even when you use the credit card, that rent that is going to come in from the property is going to be able to cover the credit card payment as well. But essentially, what you're looking to do is work all the numbers to make sure that the rent is covering it, and ultimately using those credit line increases that you get in order to be able to buy more real estate. Leading us into step number 5 is exactly what I did today. I used a credit card in order to be able to purchase a property that I've never seen. The property is 3 hours away from where I live. I'm never going to see the property, but we funded the deal. It was an $8,000 deal. We simply funded it using a credit card. So again, when you have access to credit lines and when you have access to credit cards with higher balances, you can use your credit card just like you would with cash or going to the bank to be able to fund the deal. All we did was transfer the funds from the credit card at 0% interest for 12 months. We transferred the funds that was available on one of the credit cards into my business bank account as a loan, and we're simply going to pay the money back once we decide on our exit strategy. This particular one, we're probably going to list it on the market and sell it as a hotel deal. But the point is, I can decide to keep it long term if I wanted to. I can decide to do a lease option. The whole point is I have options with this type of transaction because we purchased the deal using 0% interest on a credit card. Get these credit line increases in order to make deals like this work. Have access to the capital in order to be able to get more deals. And once you have access to the capital, the sky is the limit. So I hope you benefited from the information in this video. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about this strategy. This is something that, we've done a couple of times. I can't say we do a lot of it, but when the time is right, we have access to the credit limits to be able to do it. And you want to have access to that capital as well. Hope you like this video. See you on the next one. Peace.